Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cameron St. Clair and today's video is going to be all about my kitten Lila. Now if Lila would come over, that would be great. Lila. Say hi Lila. Okay. She doesn't want to be on camera right now. Lila had to go because she was chewing on my camera, and that leads me to today's video, 10 things you should know about kittens, not cats, before adopting a kitten. Oh my gosh, there's something else. Let me give you a little bit of background on why and how I adopted Lila. I feel like I haven't properly talked about this on my YouTube channel. I've talked about it a few times on my TikTok, but not my YouTube channel. So it was Labor Day weekend. I was in LA. You guys have seen that vlog. I think I definitely posted that vlog. If you notice, in that vlog, I did not film my ride back to New York. That's because it was a hot mess. It was a hot mess with the cat, trust me. So I'm in LA and I noticed these adorable two little Bengal kittens, Snow White Bengal kittens, which are apparently really rare. I didn't realize that. And I was obsessed with the girl. Like Lila, they only named them girl, boy. I just looked at her, I was like, you look like a Lila. My cousins were like, well, that's her name. And she kind of looked up at me. And we spent one night together. We all, her and her brother, they slept in my bedroom one night and we were attached. We were like this afterwards. And I sent a picture to my roommate. I'm like, yo, we have to get this kitten. We gotta bring her back to New York. And she was like, no, we should. She was 100% on board. I did not expect her to be on board. In less than 12 hours, we decided, hey, let's take this kitten back to New York. Let me give you some further context. Her brother sold for a lot of money. Her brother sold for $1,000. And the owner at the time wasn't pressed to sell Lila because Lila's spots didn't come out as prominent as the brother. And her coat wasn't as white. She was tan. And so they were just like, yeah, you can have her. I could just have her? Excuse me? What? When I looked up how much they cost, absolutely. It was a no-brainer that we were gonna take this kitten home. She also, again, she needed a home. She was so tiny when we got her and she needed a home, okay? She was living in a house of 4 adult cats and she was not eating enough at all. Homegirl was hungry. So here's 10 things that I believe everyone should know before actually taking that step, and 10 things I wish I knew before taking that step to adopt Lila, aka just take ownership of Lila. Yeah. Number 1, kittens are not cats, meaning they are wild. Everyone has always told me oh, cats are so calm, they sleep all day, they're relaxing. And when I see my cousin's adult cats, for the most part, they don't act crazy. They just chill next to you. They just want to be rubbed, pet one, and they sleep with you and they're so calm and collected. Lila is not that. Let me also take a step back. When I met Lila in LA, Lila had a cold. She had a respiratory infection. I thought Lila was that chill. Her brother was jumping all off the, all around. Lila was sleeping for most of the day. She was so calm. And even the first 2 weeks we had her, obviously we took her to the vet. We got her healed. She was fine. Then she got healthy. And a healthy kitten, just so you know, you're in for a world of whoa. I'm gonna insert some videos here of how wild she is. She jumps off things, she jumps on our TV, she jumps on counters. And this just leads me to number 2. Not all kittens are the same. That means not all teaching tactics are gonna work for your kitten. For example, I was told cats are afraid of aluminum foil. We see those funny videos. My cat, she started playing with the aluminum foil. Yeah. Every kitten is very different. Some are wild, some are more calm. She's a Bengal, and if you know anything about Bengals, they're a little crazy. They're a little crazy. So that leads me to number 3, do some research. Now, unless you have a similar predicament like me, where it was kind of just an in-the-moment decision, I was staying there for a day or 2 more when I made the decision. It wasn't we walked into LA thinking, oh, I'm gonna come home with a kitten. We didn't plan for this. It was kind of she needs a home. Do you wanna be her homeowner? We need to get rid of her. It's too much. Nobody told me why it was too much. I felt bamboozled. Like, Lila jumps around so much. Oh my gosh, she's so wild. Do some research, and I highly, highly, highly do not recommend your first cat being a Bengal. I'm gonna be real with you. That should be like cat number 3, okay? Bengals are insane. You know why Bengals are insane? It's because many generations ago, Bengals were essentially a domesticated cat breeding with an Asian leopard cat. So they do have wild cat tendencies, but obviously, like, she's how many generations removed from that? So it's not like she is a wild cat. Like, she's gonna be as small as this probably forever. She's tiny, but she does have the tendencies, like sometimes she likes to bite, sometimes she likes to prey, really only with her owners. She doesn't really bite strangers, and she doesn't really hunt strangers. Just her mom, just me and my roommate. That's about it. Same with like the jumping and stuff. Apparently that's just like the natural wild instinct. She doesn't have all of them. For example, like she doesn't like water. She's fascinated by water. She likes to like try and touch it, but she doesn't like to be wet. So that is one tactic that we have been able to use, like the water gun. But she's smart as hell. Bengals are so smart, and she hides the water gun from us. She'll like literally knock it off the couch, and it'll be like underneath the couch, or it'll be in a hidden corner. She's so smart. I don't even know where the water gun is currently, but we need it desperately. So number 4, kittens love to play, and they need a lot of attention. This was something I didn't even realize, and some of y'all might be like, girl, that's a no-brainer. It wasn't for me, because the selling point was the fact that cats are supposed to be so independent. They don't need to be up under you all the time. Cats, not kittens. Yeah. We adopted Lila when she was almost 4 months. She was like 3.5 months when we got her. She needs so much attention. And again, when she was sick, it was cute and fun because she would just sleep on my neck and she would just cuddle with me. Now she wants to play, but I don't like the way she plays. Like, this is also why people recommend when you adopt 1 kitten, you should adopt 2. We weren't even planning adopting 1, but a lot of people say take 2 kittens with you because they're able to play with each other and they learn certain things with each other. For example, biting. Like, cats realize that you shouldn't be biting and your bites hurt, even though you don't think it's hurting, because it's a part of how they play too. Sometimes biting could be like love, love affections, and then sometimes she's like literally biting my arm because she's playing with my arm. She's acting like she's attacking my arm. She doesn't mean to hurt me, but it does hurt. And a cat will teach you that by biting you back, and then you're like, oh crap, that hurts, maybe I shouldn't be biting. Stop that. They definitely recommend getting 2 kittens. We did not do that, but they do need lots of attention. I think it was funny because for the first month I felt so bad. Anytime we were gone from home or we left home, she would always hide in our closet. Like, in this little box in our closet. We would go off to work, we would come back home, she's in that closet. Now she's finally feeling safe and she likes the space that she's in, so she's now more comfortable to explore the apartment when we're not home. And so for the most part, I don't come home to her being in that closet, but she does sleep in the closet at night. It's like her safety net, I guess. But I realized that this kitten not only crossed the freaking country from West Coast to East Coast, but she also grew up having like 4 or 5 cats around her and her brother around her. So, oh my gosh, her first week she was so depressed. She definitely missed her brother. I don't think now she remembers her brother, but she definitely missed her brother, and she definitely missed like having other animals around her. So that's probably why she treats us like animals, because she's used to growing up near animals. Hate it bad. But yeah, they just need lots of attention. I made an Amazon shopping list of all the different toys that we got for her. I'm also only gonna include the toys that I feel is worth the money. I'm gonna be honest with you. For example, we got a tunnel for her because she likes to sometimes, and cats love to do this, she likes to go underneath my bed sheets, and that's when she attacks my feet. I hate it. But she'll like to like go under the bed sheets and run through the bed sheets. So I was like, let me get you a tunnel. When I tell you she never got inside that tunnel, ever. I kept it for 2 weeks. It was out. I kept trying to get her. I would like put her in the center. She would run jump. She would jump out, not even run through the hole. She did not like the tunnel. So for my kitten, it wasn't worth the money. So therefore you're not gonna see it in the Amazon list. But for your kitten, it might be worth the money because remember number 2, not all kittens are the same. I will say her favorite toy is the one that she can like attack. It's the stick. It's like a pole and it has like a feather that hangs from it. Oh my gosh, she'll do like backflips. It's insane. She runs, she loves her scratching pole. You need to get a scratching pole because they'll learn. If they don't have a scratching pole or like this other item that we got, which is like a board, if they don't have those items, I do fear they're gonna scratch your, furniture, okay? So get a scratching post for sure, but sometimes she'll like to climb the scratching post and then catch the feather with her mouth. She's insane. I can't promise that all your cats are gonna act that way, but I will leave the list in the description below so that way you can like see what toys I recommend and what toys I feel like most cats in general probably really enjoy. I also recommend, oh my gosh, my grandmother got it for us. Highly recommend. Again, it's gonna be down below, but it's this automatic toy that like has a feather pop up. It like goes in the hole, goes back in, pops out, pops back in. She loves it. She'll literally play with it and that way you can get your work done. Because again, cats need so much attention. So if you work from home, like me sometimes, like I'm a hybrid worker, so I go into the office maybe 2-3 times a week. Those days I'm home and I'm working and not giving her attention. My roommate works from home every day currently. The moment she's not giving her attention, that's when the cat gets into some stuff to try and get attention. She starts acting up, searching for attention. Or she might mess with your computer. She'll sit on top of your computer and look at you like, hello, I need attention. So yes, that will keep her distracted, keep her entertained. Number 5, kittens and cats in general have different ways to communicate with you and you will slowly learn how they communicate. So a perfect example is this morning. Oh my gosh, you guys. My cat wakes up every single day, I kid you not, on routine at 8:30 in the morning. That's the time frame. Obviously on a weekend, it's Saturday, I'm not trying to wake up that early. I want to sleep in. So I did sleep in. I slept in until 10. I opened my door because she was crying outside my door. She wanted to come in. She came in and guess what she started to do? Bite my legs. Do you know what that's a sign of? I'm hungry. Now in her bowl, she had dry food, but we kind of have a routine with her where she gets 1 thing of wet food a day. This is actually highly recommended that you shouldn't only feed your cat kibble. Also, wet food can help with hydration. My cat drinks a lot of water, but not all cats drink a lot of water. And if you get the wet food that's in broth, they're getting a lot of hydration. Highly recommend. But she knows the routine, especially if we're both home, that in the morning you're gonna receive wet food and then throughout the day you're gonna receive dry food. So she didn't want the dry food. No. And I'm like, you have food in your bowl. And I'm showing her the bowl. She doesn't want it. She starts coming back to my leg. She's rubbing her head against my leg and meowing. She's trying to communicate, I want my wet food. Guess what I did? Got her some wet food. It was the applause. It was like the tuna and shrimp one that she loves. It was actually her first time getting that one today, but she loves that version where it's like a lot of broth in it because she loves to lick the broth first. I put that in her bowl, tore it up. When I tell you she ate half that bowl immediately, but she just had dry food. So that's how you can understand like, okay, when you're attacking my leg, when you're rubbing your head, when you're meowing, when you're doing all these things, that means you're hungry. And even if you have food in your bowl, you're not hungry for that food. You want a particular food. Cats know how to communicate with their owner to help them understand like, here are my needs. For example, there's times even like, you would think she's a dog. There's times where that little toy, she'll pick up the feather with her mouth and bring it over to me and just drop it. That's them communicating, I want you to play with me. Also, a cat's tail is a good way to indicate like how they're feeling. If their tail is waggling a lot, that typically means that they're entertained right now. They're trying to be playful. If a cat tucks their tail in, they're more than likely scared, nervous, anxious. I learned that when she first moved, she was tucking that tail in all the time. And then I think when it sticks straight up, she's curious. So yes, cats have different ways to communicate with their owners. And again, every cat is a little bit different. So you'll start to understand like, oh, my cat means this when she does this, or my cat is annoyed. Like there's times when I'm petting her and that tail starts to wag. I'm like, oh, let me stop petting her because she's gonna bite me. She doesn't want to be touched right now. Got it. So number 6, I just spoke about food. I went ahead and also linked the food items that we buy for Lila in that like whole like Amazon page. Link in the description. We had to go through a lot of food to kind of understand what Lila's favorite food is. Again, all cats are different. All cats like different things. I will say the reason why my cat didn't like wet food the first couple weeks was because she was sick. She couldn't even smell the food, so she was never interested. And the texture was something she wasn't used to because of how she came from. They only eat dry food. I do understand that some cat food can be a little expensive, like when you're repeatedly purchasing it, like for example wet food. When you repeatedly purchase it, it definitely can get a little pricey, so we prefer to order it off Amazon. I know. We sometimes also we try to support our local pet stores. However, a few things. We have a kitten. Actually, a lot of our local pet stores primarily only have the brands that we want for adult cats, and I do think that matters for those first 12 months of your cat's life. You should really try to emphasize on getting them kitten food. If you're getting a kitten, it should be kitten food up until I believe 12 months, and that's just because there's extra nutrients for their growth. That's definitely better for them, especially if you have a young kitten, for sure. Maybe when they're like 10, 11 months, you can like start giving them adult food, but the kitten food you should be purchasing for your baby. There's not a lot of stores near us that sell kitten food, number 1. Number 2, I hate to say it, but Amazon sells more affordable variety packs. For example, you can get a pack of 6 cans for like $11 total for the brand that we like. And unfortunately, like most of these stores, they sell the cans individually, which means it might be like $2.50, or oh my gosh, there was this one store where it was $3 per can. It was like tiny cans. So if you're doing your math correctly, 3 times 6 is, I don't know why I'm waiting for somebody to actually answer that question for me. 3 times 6 is 18, which means like that's $7 more than just purchasing it on Amazon. If you're doing that continuously, you are unfortunately losing money. With that being said, you do want to like support your local animal stores, and we'll probably like support them more once our cat becomes an adult, because again, they just also don't have the items that we need for kittens. I also want to mention that some kitten food stinks. I'm gonna be transparent. Hopefully I don't get canceled. Let me tell you the food that we love. Applause is our absolutely favorite, and this is not sponsored. Baby, I wish it was sponsored because we buy so much Applause food. Favorite cat food across the board. They have amazing options for canned food, both pate and also like pate and broth, and then like actual like shredded food and broth. I love all of that. My cat loves all of those options, and it looks like real people food, and it doesn't smell. The only one that kind of had like a, ooh, that smells like fish was the tuna and shrimp one that I opened today. And honestly, I gotta, before I was giving her the chicken tuna salmon one, this one is like a little bit different. This one also offers like crab. We are extra. Let me just say, my roommate and I are extra as hell, and we keep trying to say like we want our cat to have a diverse palate, because most kitten food only offers chicken, and it's so annoying. Our cat is not gonna just keep eating chicken. That's not gonna be the only food she gets, okay? She also likes seafood. I probably sound crazy. Like, what do you mean your cat loves seafood? It's a freaking animal. I hear you, but it's what my kitten loves. So we're gonna get my kitten the food she loves. Applause has amazing options. Now that Tiki brand, I recommend Tiki for dry food. She did enjoy that. The reason why we switched from Applause to Tiki for the dry food was because the store that we went to in person didn't have Applause kitten food. They like ran out of stock, so we introduced Tiki. And then we've also been buying Tiki from Amazon because it is a little bit cheaper if you get off Amazon. Everything's cheaper on Amazon, let's be real. But on Tiki, their dry food I recommend. She enjoys it. I wish it wasn't just chicken. I wish we could get some, can we get some fish? Applause and and Tiki, can we please get some fish dry food? But yo, Tiki's pate, that wet food, had our house stinking. We used to literally open a window. We would open a window until we got done feeding her all those cans, and we said we're not buying that wet food anymore. That's why the Tiki wet food is not listed below. But again, dry food doesn't smell, and I do recommend their dry food. But that wet food, baby, I'm sorry, it smelled like cat food, and you wouldn't even smell it when you're in your apartments. When you leave your apartment, you come back and you're like, oh, yeah, we not about to be one of them houses. I refuse to be one of those homes. Speaking of which, I didn't write this down as one of my top 10, but honestly, I should have. Here's a trick to make sure, here's a bonus, okay? So like, let's make this 6A. 6A. Here's a trick to make sure your house doesn't smell bad. Obviously, like the plug-in walls, like lighting candles, although candles are risky because cats do like to knock things down. You don't want to start a fire. Air freshener, but also changing that litter box once a day, bare minimum. Yes, you should be changing that litter box every single day. Some people will literally go 2-3 days without changing their litter box. Some people will go a week without changing their litter box, and you wonder why your house smells like cat. Change it every day. It ain't nothing to scoop it out. You're leaving the apartment, you're leaving the house anyway. All you need to do is get a little, we use these scented trash bags that are meant for your actual trash can, and we just scoop that litter box every single day. I'm telling you. Let me tell you a story. Let me also tell you a story that will make you probably change it more frequently. My friend's roommate, her cat pooped and peed on her bed. Mind you, this is an apartment of 3. Cats are smart. All 3 doors were open. The cat only peed and pooped in their owner's bed, because this isn't my friend's cat. This isn't her other roommate's cat. This is this one particular roommate's cat. She peed and pooped on that bed. And I'm asking her about it like, that's crazy. Like, Lila would never, like, she runs to the bathroom when she needs to use the bathroom. It's hilarious, but it's like, girl, why are we waiting till the last minute to pee? But she will run to the closet, to her litter box. This friend's cat, her litter box was really full. She was like, yeah, I haven't changed it in a couple days, so that's probably why. Cats get pissed when nobody wants to like poop or pee in a dirty bathroom, right? We clean our bathroom, so why aren't you cleaning your cat's bathroom on a daily basis? That is my biggest recommendation, to also make sure your house does not smell. I've had many people who have been over to my house before I got a cat, after I got a cat, and every single one of them I've always asked like, hey, does it smell like cat? And they're like, no, I would have told you as soon as I walked in. It does not smell like cat in here. That's my recommendation. Clean that litter box on the regular. Obviously, like, you can have scented things around if you want to like just keep making sure that it doesn't smell. And cat food matters too, because some cat food stink. Stink. Number 7, let's get into these vet trips. Girl. Vet trips. You're gonna need to find a local vet, and my recommendation is you need at least 1 checkup after you initially adopt your kitten. Just 1 checkup, make sure they're healthy, get them their vaccines if you want them to get their vaccines. I'm gonna be transparent, Lila still hasn't got her vaccines yet, and yes, it's November. She's gonna get them soon, realistically, so I'm taking Lila home with me when I go home for Thanksgiving. Unique's gonna take her home when she goes home for Christmas. Unique has a cat at her parents' house, so therefore Lila's gonna have to get vaccines before she sees that cat. Our vet, a vaccine is $57.50 each, and she needs like 3 on top of the like $125 for a checkup. She did have to get a checkup already, and then she also needed like medicine and stuff to like heal her cold. It worked. She's healed. She's completely healed. She's super healthy. I definitely, this is also part of the reason why it's so important to invest in your cat food, because when you invest in your cat food, it's gonna help your cat when you invest in cat food, it's gonna help your cat remain strong, have a strong immune system. They're gonna be healthier, and your vet trips are gonna be less, okay? Less frequent. We are gonna get our cat vaccines, but I will say, if your cat is going to be an indoor cat, like mine, I'm serious about it. We live in New York. There is no reason for her to go outside. If you have an indoor kitten, if your kitten never comes in contact with another kitten, then you don't really need vaccines. I'm gonna be real, you don't. My 2 cousins, they're the ones who have the 4 cats. Only one has vaccines, and that's because that's an outdoor cat. The other 3 doesn't, and they're healthy. They've had the outdoor cat for like 5 years, and I think the other 3 has been like, the youngest might be 2. They're all super healthy, okay? Cats, if they're indoor, hear me out. If they are indoor cats, or never seeing the daylight, they're never touching outside, if they're never coming in contact with other pets, there is no need for them to get a vaccine, honestly. But the moment that they are coming in contact with other animals, I highly recommend you get that vaccine. They can be expensive. They can be really expensive. So that leads me to number 8, pet insurance. We did not get pet insurance, and here's why. The moment homegirl breaks something or needs a major surgery, we're out. Like, I'm sorry. Literally, Unique and I sat down and we were like, okay, maybe we should get pet insurance. We started looking into pet insurance. I believe pet insurance is a scam. I'm gonna be honest. Here's why I think it's a scam. 1, most pet insurance only covers 1 or 2 yearly checkups. Mind you, that would be amazing because remember I said it's $125 per checkup, but guess what? Each pet insurance has a deductible. Yes. And the average deductible, I believe, was like $500, $400 to $500. That $125 is not covering that $500. It's not. Also, most of the pet insurance, I believe, only one insurance that we found only covered 3 vaccines and 1 appointment a year. But remember, you have to hit a deductible. The cost of the vaccines and the appointment didn't even come close to the deductible. So for us, pet insurance made no sense. It really didn't. Another thing that you probably don't realize with pet insurance is you have to pay upfront. You get reimbursed with pet insurance. It's not copay. It's not like health insurance. Pet insurance, you have to like give them the receipt, write in the claim, and receive hopefully 80 to 90% of your costs back. That means if Lila needs a surgery, an $8,000 surgery, we have to pay that up front. Maybe I ain't got $8,000. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't have $8,000. My roommate does have $8,000 to spend on a cat up front, even if we get 90% back. We just don't have it. Also, you're still paying a good portion. You're still paying 10%, which is $800. We don't got $800 to spend on a pet. I'm sorry. Call me a horrible person, but like, I'm keeping it real with you guys. We don't have that money. So we were just talking about it, and that's when we decided like she's gonna be an indoor pet. We're gonna make sure that she's not around any bad animals that might attack her, and we're keeping her safe. God forbid she injures herself. You have to see it through, babes. I don't know what to tell you. That's just us, right? Now, not everybody is like Unique and I. The average pet owner becomes super attached and they were like, oh, I do want to spend tens of thousands of dollars on my animal. I respect it. I respect it. Then you should definitely get pet insurance, okay? What I've been talking about this whole time, that cats can be expensive. So I do think this is something I wish I realized. I've never owned a pet besides fish. And even then, it was under my dad. Same with like Unique. She had cats growing up, but she was a child. She wasn't paying for those cats. Cat food itself isn't expensive, but cat food over time becomes expensive. Does that make sense? A 6-pack of wet food is like $11. So that's 6 days. Well, there's how many days in a year? 360 days, unless it's a leap year. Wow. Well, divide that by 6, that's 60. Times 60 by 11, that's $660 that you're spending a year on wet food alone. That's not even the dry food. Our dry food typically lasts us about a month and a half, I would say, depending on what size. If you get the smaller bag, I think that's like a month. If you get the bigger bags, I feel like that's closer to 2 months. Those bags cost like, let's just go with the smaller bags. I believe that bag is around $23, let's say. Times that by 12, 276 plus the 660. You're spending almost $1,000 a year on cat food. Now again, for us, we split the money, so it's definitely more affordable, and maybe that's the route. Make sure you're not getting this pet alone. And there are more affordable cat food, but again, I would rather invest in the cat food that I get my kitten versus having to pay and vet doctor bills later. And honestly, that's just the cost of food. Baby, I haven't even gotten to the cost of litter. It can be expensive. The toys, everything else that you pay for, it can definitely be expensive. Those vaccines that you're gonna eventually get, the doctor's appointments, pets are expensive. They are definitely expensive. That is something that you should like remind yourself when you're going into it, because again, we just looked at how beautiful Lila was and we said, we gotta have her. And I don't know if that was like the right thing to do, but it's too late. We have her, we can't send her back. Cats are also really sweet, and that's number 10. Cats are they're not the most loving, but they're really loving. And they're actually pretty easy to take care of. I think every time I see Lila going to that litter box, I'm like, dang, if you were a dog, I would have to walk you. I used to want, my dream dog is a Cavapoo. I'm putting it out there that I'm gonna eventually get one. But I need to wait until I'm out of the city to get a dog. I need to wait until I have a backyard, a fenced backyard. Dogs need to be walked multiple times a day. And I'm just thinking about how like Lila goes to the bathroom multiple times a day. I could not imagine walking a puppy every single time. Baby, I live in a walk up. I can't imagine. Dogs also bark a lot. Lila's quiet for the most part unless she needs something. My friend has a pet. My friend has a little baby dog, and I love every time I go over there that it jumps on me, and it kind of reminds me that this is what I want for my cat. I want to hug my cat, and cats don't like that all the time. Lila doesn't really like to be held much. Very rare. She'll let you hold her for maybe 2 minutes max. But dogs, obviously, they love to be held. They love to be pet. They love playing with you, and they play a lot nicer than cats, I will say. But overall, cats are definitely easier to take care of. You don't have to give them baths multiple times a week or a month. They self-clean. They don't smell. Yeah. So if you're thinking about getting a kitten, I hope you guys learned something from this. Best of luck to all my kitten owners. Lila is now 5 months. Yeah, she's 5 months. At the end of this month, she'll be 6. She's getting up there. Baby, I cannot wait till she's 1. I've been told that once they're adult animals, that they are completely different cats. Unique and I are going to be living together next year too, so I'll do an updated video more than likely once she turns 1, like what are the differences between an adult cat and a kitten when it comes to Bengals specifically, because I know Bengals are very different. But yeah, I hope you guys learned something from this, and I'm sorry that Lila couldn't be in the back of this video. There's many videos on YouTube where I'm sitting down and she's just chilling and she's sleeping, but that's the other thing. Cats, every day is different with them. Some days they want to be chill, they just want to sit and relax, and other days they want to bite my camera like this cat was doing, and I couldn't deal with that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll be more than happy to make more cat content if that's what you guys want. Comment down below any questions you might have. I'll answer them in the comment section, and maybe I'll even make a video about it too. Just, yeah, let me know. Okay, bye.